fired up, rocking and rolling. Let's see here. Oops. And boom. So there we are. Woohoo! Shannon from Denver's here. Very nice. Roxanne from Newfoundland checking in. Already gone international. Very, very, very fun. Thanks for being here. Tammy's checking in first on Instagram. Jeff is here. Good evening to you, sir. Rachel, hello. Thank you for checking in. Donna from Kentucky, good evening to you. Tammy gives a wave. Joan from Ontario. Lisa, hello everyone. Colette checking in from Long Island. Good evening to you. Rockford, Illinois. Debbie checks in. Instagram's filling up nicely. Thank you. Penny, good evening to you from Northern Indiana. Dan checking in from Winnipeg. Man, Canada is very well represented tonight. Rosie's checking in on YouTube from Hollister, California. Lee's from California. And California's checking in well too. So very, 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 very fun. Let's see. Jamie, we got you. Cheryl, we got you. Pam, good evening. Cheryl from Franklin, good evening to you. Ha. Julie, he says, hi, I still can't believe or you can't believe you're here. Why not? Hopefully you saw, hopefully you saw the comment back to you. I saw your post on, excuse me, saw your post in the Wise Wingman group. Hopefully you saw our comment back. Janine and I, we're here for you. Whatever you need, let us know. You know how to get a hold of us without having to come into the live stream. So, Anne, good evening from Denver. Daniela from Nebraska checking in. Adele, good evening from Northern Illinois. Let's see. Pam out of Colorado Springs. Syracuse checking in. Joanne. Mandy, it's Fat Dag time. Westport, Mass. Jody's checking in. Liz from Maine. Good evening, Liz. Veronica, Ronnie's here. Amy from Connecticut in Pennsylvania. Got it. Let's see. Carrie switching it up over on Facebook tonight. Yeah. Cold here in Virginia. It's cold everywhere. Jay Jarrett, hello. Good evening to you. Let's see who else we have. Lead down 1.8 this week's weigh in. Now having to remove. You've now removed 127.2 pounds. Incredible. Jamie from Arkansas, good evening to you. Wheaton, Illinois, Karen's checking in. Dayton, Ohio, Robin. Lee from Arkansas. Dan says, go, Jets, go. Nah, not so much. Kimberly from Southern Cal, good evening to you. Corey from Washington, D.C. instead of Connecticut. Got it. Maria, good to see you again. Yep. Jen is finally catching a live show from Clatskine. Is it Clatskine? Clat? Clatskane. Clatskane. From Oregon. Jen checking in from Oregon. West Hartford, Connecticut is here. Christy's here. Margie's here. Got you. Let's see. Seattle. Yep. Finally checking in a live show. Denise, good. Thanks for being here. Very cool. Jody's here. Good. Fargo. Jan is checking in. Alabama. Natalie in. At one point, I want to put a map of all the places we're checking in from. I think it's pretty fun. Rose from California. Texas. Hey, y'all. Cindy's checking in. Lee said, math brain, couldn't remember if he listened to 187 until he told himself it's 11 times 17. Yeah. So, Clatskane. Got it. Clatskane. I'm glad you guys, that's from Instagram's teaching me how to pronounce the words on Facebook. I mean, you guys are awesome. Awesome. Diane, good evening. Patty, hello from Minnesota. Dan, I love how, you know what, truly, I always appreciate when you type it phonetically. I can't spell to save my life anyway, so whether you spell it right or not doesn't matter to me, but if you spell it phonetically, it'll make it a lot easier. So MINNIE space SODA makes a lot more sense to me. So Patty's checking in from Minnesota. Got it. Michelle says, "Where's all the Wisconsin cheeseheads?" I know they're here. Cheryl's here. Karen, good evening to you. Sabina checking in from Olympia, Washington. Finally, lots of new folks finally catching a live show tonight. Very fun. Kim is here. Kimberly says no, not everyone. It's not cold everywhere. It's so hot here in Southern California, 90 degrees. Yeah, we have a saying for that here in the Northeast. Let's see. Angie says, hit my 50-pound goal last week, down 50.2 pounds. Incredible. Great work. April checking in from Georgia. Let's see. Patty from Pennsylvania near Philly. Very cool. We'll be in Philly in August, right? Hopefully you're going to be there for that. Lisa, I agree with you. Lisa said, those of you in the 100 Club blow me away. Isn't that incredible? I'm with you. And you're going to hear some of that tonight, too. Very fun. Henry Blake checking in from Arizona. That's not anywhere near Indiana. Must be on a little vacation, I think. Beth from Idaho. Good evening to you. Pacific Northwest. Very well represented, always. Susan, yeah, but it's not only that I need the map. Putting the pins on it would take way too long. Way too long. Kim checking in from Wisconsin. Pam says, hey, everyone missed the Cubs today because of snow. Yeah, so that's okay. Melinda's making Greek yogurt for lunch tomorrow. She's focused. Kansas City's in the house with Maggie. Let's see. Patty's here. Yeah. Lee's pretty funny. Lee says Minnesota is sold at Disneyland. Gigi checking in from Lake Charles, Louisiana. Mandy, it's not only do I struggle with spelling. I mean, I'm okay at it, but not only do I struggle with spelling, but trying to read it live, and keep the thing going makes it even worse. Because then I gotta, I can't take time to sound it out because so many of you are watching and laughing at me. So, but it's all good. Keith is checking in, even though he texted me and said he wouldn't. I kind of knew better than that. Oh yeah. I forgot. Oh, people said ring the bell, ring the bell. Yeah, when someone joins us new for the first time, we ring the bell in your honor. So there's a ton of bell ringing tonight. Very fun. Patty's already signed up. Very fun. Michigan, Deborah's here. Let's see. Danielle from snowy Chicago. Lisa. Keith says hi and good night. Lisa from Minnesota. Linda from Eastern North Carolina. Good evening to you. Let's see. Scrolling through. Oh, this is going to be fun. Wendy says, after hearing Lindsay's email to you last week, I planned my weekend, stayed on track Saturday and Sunday. Felt so much better not having to play catch-up today. You also tracked the catch-up today. Ha! Wendy, great job, and very, very fun. Kristen checking in from Connecticut, first time. Very fun. Very, very, very nice. Lincoln, Nebraska's checking in. Let's see. Donna, it's been too long for a lot of us, right? Kristen's here. Diane is saying hi to Stacy. Got it. See, it takes me a second. Linda from Sandwich, Illinois. Good evening to you. And then Daniela, very fun. La Crosse, Wisconsin. Deb's checking in. So very cool. And then Laura is checking in out of Phoenix. So I think I saw Maine and I saw California. So that's covered. And we saw Canada. And did I see Florida? I don't think I saw Florida. I think North Carolina is as southern as we saw. There's got to be someone from Florida. But anyway, we have all four corners covered. We have the Pacific Northwest. We have Maine. We have Arizona. We have California. And then we have the North Carolina area. Georgia's checking in. So, and then Margie checking in from Florida. So, boom. We have the whole map covered. Very cool. Let's get episode 188 done, shall we? Mic check. Testing. Testing. 1, 2. Let's see. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Sounds good. Beautiful. All right. Here we go. Pennsylvania, checking in. Jay Jarrett, very cool on Instagram. Looks like a lot of you have been here before. I just did a sound check. After the sound check, for those of you who are new, right after the sound check comes the water break. So the water emojis are the anticipation of water. I think we'll skip doing that. I think we'll stop doing that from this point forward. Is that not? Oh, wait a minute. Let's not. That's crazy. Cheers. Whew. Little brain freeze. Lansdale, Pennsylvania, checking in. Cool. Are you ready for episode 188? I'm ready. Let's do it. It's our Pun Rocky Horror Show. It's water. I get in trouble for saying something. Yeah, Lee, you did. Yep. Patty, yes, way to be here. Cheryl says I cannot drink water like that. I would be sick. Is it Leona? Leanne? Sorry, Leanne says, how long has he been doing this? Until it's empty. Yep. You kooky nut. I like it. Yeah, so last time we did this, Lee said he thought that maybe there may be some vodka in the water. It's purely water. And so what I learned from Lee on that show is once I start, I'm not reading a lot of comments because if you make me laugh, I have to restart over. Did you guys hear it? I put the blooper clip inside the app for that show. Was it 186 maybe? I can't remember what episode it was, but the blooper is in there if you want to hear hear Lee make fun of me. So very fun. That's in there. The other thing, real quick, before we do live, I have an opportunity, and I don't know what you think, is a lot of you want to know when we go live. I've set Twitter up to let you know when we go live on Twitter, but I found out that the app, and I think it's only Apple only, but the app gives me the ability to do a push notification from the app. So I'm not sure how that works, but I can look into that if it's something you're interested in. So but you would just have to turn on push notifications. Then I would use that exclusively to let you know that we're going live somewhere. So if that's of interest to you, let me know that, and I'll look into it. But I think Twitter is working very well as well. So I'll look into it and see what the options are, and then we'll go there as well. So 188 coming up. Here we go. Always got to make sure I'm recording. There's been a couple times we've recorded it and not actually recorded it. Oh, so Corey, no, I will always continue to use Twitter for that, but this would be an addition as well. And Twitter, you're right, is the ticket. So I completely agree with you. Jeannie says, happy to see the man in the red. Me too. So I went for a run this afternoon, and I haven't changed. So that's it. You're getting sweaty dag at the end. So I went for a run this afternoon, If you remember from last year, I'm working more on speed than I am distance. So I wanted to just get a benchmark of where I was, and so I just kind of did a mile today, pretty quick. I thought disappointed it was off my pace from last year a little bit, but how cool is that? That just at a moment's notice decided to change and go for a run, bust out a mile in 8 minutes, and tear it up. So it's fun. Here we go, 188. Let's do this. That's why you're here. One big breath. I am your host, Fat Dag, and you're listening to Wise Advice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at fatdag.com and follow along on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at Wise Advice. Send in your comments, your questions, your celebrations. I'll include them as part of the show. But before we dive in, remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points. Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. That's right. I believe in you. That's worth repeating every once in a while. I really do truly believe in you because this journey is possible. This journey is doable. If you just stay focused on what you're doing, you absolutely can get it done. Well, hello. Welcome to episode 188 of Wise Advice. It's truly an honor to be here. Honor to hang out with you. For those of you joining in on the live show, thank you for being here. Twitter will let you know if you follow Wise Advice on Twitter. Twitter will let you know the moment I decide I'm going to push out a live show. It then gives you a 15-minute warning. Then it gives you another warning at the time I said. Oh, and lastly, it gives you a final tweet the moment I finally push record. Man, if that's not notifications, I don't know what is. I do a decent job of only using the Wise Advice Twitter account strictly for that notification. I use FatDag for everything else, so that way you're not inundated with notifications. So follow me on Twitter at Wise Advice. Turn on your notifications. It works very, very, very well. But thanks for being here. You can always listen to the show in the app. If you aren't, you can find it on Spotify. You can find it wherever a podcast is findable. So again, thank you for being here. Those of you on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, welcome to the live show. Episode 188, Catherine writes in out of Orlando, Florida. She says, well, hi, Fat Dag. I am a fairly new listener to your podcast, but I've been binge listening for about 2 months now. I absolutely love every minute of it, and I'm proud to say that you accompany me on my weekly travels during my busy graduate school schedule. I'm writing to you today to tell you that I had my first gain on my weight loss journey, and I am stoked. That's right, I'm stoked. Now, this might sound a little crazy, but let me explain. I have lost 16 pounds since starting in January 2018. However, I never experienced a gain. I knew it was bound to happen, and in the beginning of my journey, that brought me so much anxiety as I was hyper-focused on the number on the scale. But after listening to your podcast and the other stories, I couldn't wait for my first gain. Because what does my first gain mean? It means I have two choices. I can engulf myself with self-deprecating thoughts and binge on chocolate, or I can have my pre-tracked lunch and stay on track for the next week. I've been anxiously awaiting to make this decision for a while. I even talked to my friends about how I would handle this setback given that I'm pretty much a perfectionist. I finally had the chance to tackle this anxiety-provoking situation and further prove to myself that I am committed to reaching goal. I can almost guarantee that if I would have gained any earlier in my journey, that first option may have very well come true. But right now, I am here eating my healthy, pre-planned lunch. Just like you when you finished your PT test and you had that turkey sandwich instead of going for wings. I too know that this time is different for me. I have made a choice, and my choice is to keep making healthy choices more often than not and to reach goal. thank you so much for all that you do for this community and helping me realize that a gain is simply part of the process, and I have the strength, the skills, and the knowledge to overcome it. Wishing you and everyone good focus, Catherine. Catherine, congratulations on an amazing gain at the scale. We don't say that too often, but more importantly, it's the fact that you went there and got the number, and you're right. You had two choices. You can learn from it. You can push forward from it. In your case, you can have binge on chocolate, or you can go ahead and have your pre-track lunch and get it done. You're clearly dialed in. You're clearly focused. You're down 16 pounds. That's incredible focus. That does not happen by accident. That's you having a great mindset. That's you being prepared along this journey. Not only are you prepared in the way that you're eating, you're prepared in how you're handling the entire journey. Understanding as this situation comes up, understanding that ahead of time, you had already pre-planned how you would react. And because you had already pre-planned, you had already also pre-planned on what you're going to have to eat that day. That pre-planning is what will carry you to goal. It's pre-planning in thought, and it's pre-planning in preparation. That's a lot of P's in that sentence. But there you are. The more you plan, the more things don't knock you off of the plan because you knew what to expect. It's why we continue to share our stories along this journey, because there's so many scenarios, there's so many things that we could encounter that we may not know about until they actually get here. But as we listen, as other people write in, they tell us what to expect along the way. They're walking the same journey that we are. They're just a couple steps ahead, and they're reaching back and they're telling us about the pitfalls. They're telling us about the potholes. They're telling us about the things that they've experienced so that when we get there, we already know how to handle them. That's why we share. And for you to be able to tackle this anxiety and understand ahead of time that this is just part of the process, that you can do this. That the real victory is showing up to your meeting anyway. The real victory is stepping on the scale and actually getting a number. It doesn't matter what the number says. Because not going is when we start, falling down the wrong path. You weigh the exact same amount, whether you hop on the scale or not. That part doesn't change. If you understand the data and you understand the process, that is the only way you can take the control necessary to win. Catherine, thank you for your amazing email. I'm super proud to hear about your 16-pound loss, and I'm super proud to hear about your amazing mindset, your amazing preparation, your amazing focus that's going to carry you all the way back to goal. Thanks for sharing. Next up, Stacy writes in. She says, "Hi, Mike. I wanted to write in and say thank you. Thank you for giving me permission to accept that my life is just crazy right now and to adjust my attendance goals to reflect that. 3 weeks ago, my boss got fired and I was thrown into her position, which involves a ton of work on top of the work I was already doing. Instead of working 7 to 8 hours a day, I was working 10 to 11 hours a day, working on weekends, bringing home work with me, etc. This was on top of being a wife and a mom to an 11-month-old. Through all of this, I was really trying to stick to the Weight Watcher plan and keep up my attendance goals. I was trying to balance everything and I was running myself into the ground. I was tired and I was barely holding it together. When April started, I began to reflect on my attendance goals for the month. In March, my goals were to get 30 minutes of exercise a day, 30 minutes 5 days a week, 45 minutes 2 days a week. I met that goal 29 days of the month. Yesterday, April 3rd, I slept through my alarm clock and my workout because I was just so tired and I just could not get up. I told myself that I would go for a run after work. I ended up getting stuck at work late and having no motivation to go for a run. On my way home from work, I listened to one of your podcasts. I've been listening for months and I've incorporated a lot of what you said into my daily life. I started thinking about how crazy my life is right now and how you've said time and time again on the podcast about doing the best you can given the situation that you're facing. In that moment, I decided to give myself permission to reduce my attendance goal for April to exercising 5 days a week. By doing that, I'm giving myself permission to prioritize getting an extra hour of sleep or to take care of myself on days that I really need it. Most importantly, I'm giving myself the permission to do that without the guilt of missing a day of exercise. Making that decision took a huge weight off of my shoulders. I've been doing Weight Watchers now for about 10 months. I'm just short of 70 pounds down, 69.6 to be exact. I'm just over halfway to goal. I'm about 6 pounds away from my lowest adult weight, about 12 pounds away from my middle school weight. This time is different. I can just tell. I'm not doing anything special. I'm following the plan. I'm showing up to my meetings every week. I stopped eating points when I'm out of points. I haven't had a true binge since I started Weight Watchers. I can only think of a couple times where I really felt like I didn't have control of the food that I was eating. I know I can still get to goal even if I take one step back on my attendance goals because my points are still on point. Get it? And I'm not stopping now. I've worked too hard to get to where I am to get back to where I was. Thank you, Mike, for giving us a very powerful tool to be successful. It's each one of us that is doing the hard work day to day, but having the support of you and the rest of the wingmen really means a lot. Stacy from Memphis, Tennessee. Stacy, thank you for listening to the podcast. Thank you for writing in. Thank you for sharing your journey. And absolutely, what a great job you've done prioritizing the part of your journey that matters the most. The part of your journey that matters more than anything else on this journey is you taking care of you. If you do that piece first, everything else seems to kind of fall in line. You're absolutely right. We do get to the point where we have to do our best given the set of circumstances we've been dealt that morning. Every single day you wake up, you assess where you're at, what's going on, and you have to then make an evaluation of what is the best that I can do today. You don't have to be better than you were the day before. You don't have to try and just continue to improve. Because at some point, you have to understand that part of your life involves you taking the time for you that you need for you, and then giving yourself permission to do all of that without the guilt. The reason you're able to push the guilt aside is because you can recognize that the improvement you're making to you is what is going to carry you to goal. 69.6 pounds. Clearly you understand what you're doing. You clearly understand the program. You clearly have focus. You clearly have discipline. You absolutely can set any goal for yourself that you want to hit and you can accomplish it. You can't lose 69.6 pounds on accident. That was you preparing. That was you planning. That was you getting it done, doing the best you can. And now the best you can shifts. You make adjustments. You continue with your attendance goals. You continue to just work the plan and completely change your life. I love what you wrote in the middle of your email, where it said, this time is different. You can just tell. And I hear that from so many people that when you use the term, this time is different, and you truly believe it, the words that follow are, I can just tell. We can't describe it. We can't explain it. We just know that something is different. And you're right. Sometimes we're not doing anything special. It's why a lot of folks will say, this isn't that hard. Because they finally get in that groove of that mindset where they decide that their health and their life and their is the priority, and they're absolutely getting it done. Now, continue to reassess, continue to figure out what it is every single day. Be careful of the complacency trap. As you reassess and as you do as you continue to find ways to set your attendance goals to balance your new life, be careful of that settling into that complacency mode where you say, okay, well, now I'm backing down, and at some point you have to recognize that the attendance goal is there to continue to do just the minimal amount to keep you in that habit forming stage. So if you set an attendance goal of working 30 minutes a day, that's a combination of attendance slash performance. On a day where you can't get 30 minutes, a simple exercise of 5 minutes continues to build the habit that you do it. That's the piece that builds the habit. That's the piece that carries you to goal. That's what we mean by the attendance goal, whereas you're out there getting the bare minimum. I tell some folks, just walk in the gym, wave to the receptionist, and walk out. If you do that enough times, slowly you will start craving more and get it done. You wrote in an absolutely perfect email. I love every single piece about it, except for the fact that you're working crazy hours. That no one enjoys that piece, but you have found a way to balance this and get it all done. Stacy, continue to do that. And this powerful tool that you mentioned, the powerful tool is all of us reaching out together, sharing what we know so that other people can be successful. Thank you, Stacy, for sharing your email as well. Also out of Tennessee, this time Arlington, Lisa writes in. She says, well, hi, Mike. Hey, just last week, someone told me to follow you on Connect and also to check out your podcast. So I'm new to WhysAdvice, and I want you to know how much I'm enjoying it. I have listened to the last couple of episodes, and I've decided to start at the beginning while trying to keep up with the current episodes. I find it very inspiring. You have spoken about focus, and I'm proud to have found mine. 5 years ago, I was at a great weight and I felt good. And then, as life improved, I basically got happy and fat and complacent with that, even though I hated what I saw in the mirror. At the beginning of January, I saw a Weight Watchers commercial, and I just thought, you know what, I should do this. The following Monday, January 8th, 2018, I asked a couple of people I knew about the program, and I signed up. I also got a few friends to sign up. For those of us who are focused, I have my support group. Well, my non-scale victory is that I have never followed through on anything like this in my whole life. And I'm doing this and succeeding. I have added exercise. I bought a treadmill for home. I'm trying to get to the gym twice per week to do some weights. I have a great support system at home, and I'm excited with every ounce that I lose. I feel successful all the time. My clothes are finally getting too big, and I am closet shopping. I am feeling healthier and stronger every day. I am down 18.6 pounds as of my last weigh-in, and I am ecstatic. I feel like I'm about to break my arm by patting myself on the back, but I've never been so proud of myself. I am learning to like or love myself again, and that is a big thing. I haven't yet derailed, although I'm sure I will do it someday, and I will move on from that. The winning combination has been my support from home, my friends in the program, my meetings, Connect, and now I'm adding your podcast. Thanks for all you do. Thanks especially for the military personnel. Again, you truly are an inspiration, Lisa. Lisa, thank you for those of you who are sharing it to get you on board. Thank you for listening to that advice. Thank you for getting into this community. You're adding value simply by being a part of it. And, it's an honor to have you here. 18.6 pounds is an amazing number. That's the point in the journey where you truly have started checking off goals and you start saying, I can do this. I love the piece where you said, I'm excited with every ounce that I lose. That's a deliberate word that you used. You didn't say with every pound that I used. You said every ounce that I use. And that is a true celebration. When you hop on the scale and it's a negative anything, it truly is reason for celebration. That's why we're here. For a lot of us, that's the end goal, is to get that number moving in that direction. feeling successful all the time, having your clothes finally become too big. All of those rewards are because you have added the exercise, you've started making the plans, you've set your attendance goals, and you're absolutely getting it done. I want you to capture this moment in your journey right now. The fact that you are so beaming with pride that you're patting yourself on the back, which is absolutely the right way to do this. But what I want you to do is I want you to capture this moment in time, because what's going to happen is at some point all of these amazing things that you're experiencing for the first time will become routine, and to some extent we will kind of forget them. If you have it captured, if you have it written down, when you start to think that maybe it's not working, or maybe you're having some difficulty, or maybe you're just not as focused, you go back and you say, you know what? I am feeling healthier. I am feeling stronger every day. My last weigh-in, I was down. I bought a treadmill. I'm getting to the gym twice a week. I have a great support system. I feel successful all the time, and my clothes are finally getting too big. Those amazing non-scale victories, that is why you're able to follow through this time, because in your whole life where you said you've never been able to do it, now you're recognizing all of the victories along the way that's making it possible. Continue to stay focused. I'm so glad that you found your focus, because the focus is what drives this train. If you stay focused on your goals, if you stay focused on why you're doing this, you recognize the non-scale victories along the way. You absolutely take pride in what you're doing. You need to be proud of what you're doing. And I love in your email, you said, I'm learning to like/love. And I'm guessing that as you were writing it, you were trying to be a little humble. And you're like, no, dang it, I do love myself again. You absolutely should. It is a big thing. That is who you're doing this for. You're doing all of this for you. And when you do it for you, and you know why you're doing it, and you celebrate along the way, and you have goals and milestones that you can remember along the way, you absolutely can do anything that you set your mind to. 18.6 pounds. Very, very proud of you. That's hard work. That's focus. That's discipline. That's you getting it done. Thank you so much for sharing. Next up, Emily writes in, says, Dear Fat Dag, it's Emily again. My Connect name is Emily Nelson 2015. I have written to you once before, and I was overjoyed to be featured on one of your podcasts. I listen to you almost daily, and I've mentioned you numerous times in my meeting. You are truly such an amazing person. I think I can speak on behalf of everyone listening. You are an inspiration, not only primarily for the weight you have shed, but for your positive, upbeat attitude. We need to hear this. I wanted to write in once I had accomplished one of my goals. Well, Mike, I am proud to announce I am the proud owner of a 100-pound charm. I am over the moon. I am truly happy that I accomplished something I worked so hard for. Of course, my work isn't done. You haven't seen the last of me yet. I still have 70 pounds until goal. I believe in myself, and I know I can do it. In fact, I can do anything I put my mind to. I believe the transformation happens physically, but emotionally as well. Here is why. You see, Fat Dag, I was never good at anything. The first time I remember failing was in third grade trying out for choir, and I was the only person in the whole class that tried out that didn't make it. Life just continued. I never fit in. I wasn't good in school, always having to go over, above, and beyond just to get a passing grade. I could never grasp how to play a single instrument. I never went to college because I never had enough passion for anything, and perhaps I knew it was a waste of effort because I knew that I would fail. I had an identity crisis. I had gone so many years always feeling like a failure until November of 2016 when I went into my first Weight Watchers meeting. I tipped the scales at 330 pounds. The amount of pain my 25-year-old body was in was indescribable. I needed to change. I began staying on plan and seeing changes in my body and in my mood. It was so rewarding to feel good at something. I was making myself into a better me. A me that I never knew existed, but was always deep inside. I wasn't a failure anymore. I was a winner. I won every time I saw the scale go down, or when someone took the time to notice the results. I was winning when I no longer walked with a limp that my plantar fasciitis had caused. I was winning when I ran the drumstick dash in 2017. I was good at this. I was especially winning when I looked at my newborn nephew for the first time. I knew I would never go back because I was going to be the fun aunt that was going to go on all the rides at Disney World with him because I would fit. I finally found something to be proud of, and it was me all along. It took me years, but my brain is rewired to love me with all of my flaws. I love what I see in the mirror, and I am proud of me. From a size 26 waist now down to a size 14, I did it. I found me. I've been lost my whole life, and I am finally found. P.S. I will be enrolling in school soon again to be a nutritionist. I want to share my newfound passion with the world. Emily. Emily, congratulations on an amazing life ahead of you, amazing life that you've lived to this point, and an amazing change where you finally understood what you are going after. Congratulations on your 100-pound charm. That's incredible. Think about that for a second. You woke up every single morning fighting, wanting to get this done by setting goals, setting victories, crossing them off, getting it done, and you reached a 100-pound weight loss. Darlene just screams out on Facebook, Emily, you are a winner. You're absolutely right. You're a winner. Congratulations on your 100-pound charm. Now, let's continue to dive into some of this. And so 100 pounds lost is absolutely amazing work. I want you to celebrate that right now. I want you to just kind of let that soak in. Because in your email, it took you all 2 seconds to say, well, I still have 70 pounds to lose. And we're not focusing there. We're focusing on all the things that you have done right, not what's left to do. What's left to do is for you to continue to enjoy the life that you built, for you to continue being a winner. A winner will take that 100-pound loss and just continue to work with that. A winner wakes up every single morning and says, no matter what, I've gotten this. A winner knows why they're doing it. And so you're over the moon, you're truly happy, you're accomplished because this is something that you have worked hard for. Celebrate that. Continue to just go, I did this. You recognize that the amount of pain that you were in at 25 years old needed to change, and you went out and did the change. It takes you getting focused. It takes you working the plan. And it takes you setting your small goals and just marking them off. Now, we've talked about it a couple of different times, and I think what you have discovered is that when you understand what winning feels like, you want more of it. It ties right into the attendance goal philosophy. It also ties right in for you setting smaller goals. And so when you set an attendance goal, when you set smaller goals, what happens is you absolutely understand what winning feels like. If you set a goal to lose 2 or 3 pounds and you do it, that's victory. That's success. If you set a goal to track 2 days in a row and you do it, that's victory. That's success. If you set a goal to just simply track the very next meal, that's victory. That's success. And when you get that victory, when you get that success, you instantly want more of it. So you set another goal, and so you set a goal that you absolutely know you can crush. and you go crush it. And before you know it, you lose 100 pounds and you look behind you and there is a string of goals that have just been checked off one by one systematically that put you into a size 14. You absolutely did it. You found you. You have not been lost your whole life. You've just been waiting to be discovered. You are found. And I cannot wait to hear when you've graduated from nutrition school. I think what you've described there is now you understand the true joy, you understand the true pride that you have. And you wished probably all along that we had this feeling forever. And so now you can't wait to say, I want to share this with the world. That's how the podcast was born. That's how this community continues to get born, is that we all say what we're doing is possible. What we're doing feels amazing. I'm proud of the life I built. You're proud of the life you've built. You love what you see in the mirror. I love what I see in the mirror. Together we are rocking this. The entire community is rocking this. Every single person listening, every single person who writes in, every single person who posts in the Wise Wingman Facebook group are focused winners getting it done. We may not be having the best of days, but we absolutely are checking in with our accountability team because we're proud of the success and we want more of it. Emily, welcome to an absolutely new you. It's truly an honor to walk this journey with you and celebrate, and I cannot wait to hear your next celebration. Folks, what is it that you're celebrating? Let's share it on the air. Go to fatdag.com, click on Wise Advice Podcast, send in your celebrations, your comments, your questions. I'll work them in as part of the show. You can email in at onair@fatdag.com. I'll work them in as part of the show as well. I really, really, really want you to email in your celebrations. I say it every time. I want you to be proud of what you're doing. When you hear the pride in these emails, you can just tell these individuals are unstoppable. That is the power of goal setting. That is the power of focus. That is the power of sharing your journey so that other people can do this as well. And when we do it together, when we stick together, we share together, we build an amazing support community that'll keep us together for as long as we stay dialed in, focused, and get to goal. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for writing in. For those of you live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, thank you for being here. But that is going to do it for this time. Remember that losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You have to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goal and go after it. I wish you good focus. How cool was that? I thought that was pretty awesome. When I read that email, I was like, yeah. That has to happen. Ann says 188 in the books. We're getting it done. Yep, congrats, Emily. Angie, good to see you. Thank you for sure. Donna reads, yep, this episode in the books. Carissa, I agree with you. It's great. Every night we just need to just remember why we're here. Remember that we are a group of people absolutely getting it done together. So very fun for sure. Anna, thank you. Pamela, no, I agree. It's funny when I get the emails. I probably get, I don't know. I mean, I get a handful of email a day or so, and I try and read them and try and find things that make sense together. And I try and find one or two that really ring true. And it's just the first two. If you remember, the first two said it feels different. I know it's different this time, and so that was kind of the theme up until I got Emily's email, and I was like, okay, this is different. So. Very fun. Let's see. Kara says, Emily's story is amazing and she's getting it done. Yes, it is. Melinda says, as always, I'm even more focused. That's what we're here for. Jane says, I'm late. Your podcasts are the only audio I play in my car. Very fun. Thank you for that. Kelly checking in. Good evening to you. Let's see. Lee says, Genius again. Fat Dag 188 episodes of Genius and Assistance and Camaraderie. That's what it's all about. Bev says, my dad didn't take care of himself, though. I'm taking care of myself. Yep. Sometimes we have to learn from those experiences of others, good and bad. And sometimes we learn things that we want to duplicate and replicate, and sometimes we learn things we don't want to replicate and duplicate. That's kind of how it is. And you take what you need and you build the life you're looking for out of that. So, Diane, I completely agree. Awesome emails. Jan, are you just now checking in? Amy's asking me, what do I tell myself to stay laser focused? So if you're following along, Laser Focus and I right now aren't exactly friends. Focus and I are friends. Laser Focus and I aren't exactly friends. So my commute is eating up a lot of time that I use. I lost 9 hours of my week every week. So I've had to make some adjustments. And then not only have I lost 9 hours a week, is the habits that I had built. I'm now an hour and a half from those habits. So I've had to readjust. So what I tell myself is, today I proved it. Today I was like, oh, I'm going to go for a run. So without hesitation, put on this, put on the shoes, went out and belted out a run. I ran faster today than I ever ran before I started Weight Watchers. So that's a victory for me. I only ran a mile. I'm purposely working on speed. I'm not working on distance. I'm purposely working to do a 5K in under 20 minutes. That's the goal for 2018. So if I can hit that, it's going to take a speed goal. So I purposely say, you know what, Amy, I feel good. I can do this. And I have an amazing support system of people who want to help. So, it's just, and I recognize too, I guess there's a point where I recognize that I changed my life so much that anything that I do that resembles my old life, it just now feels weird. So there may be a day where I eat differently or eat like the old, eat some of the old food. It's not nearly the same, but I'll have something that I've had before, I haven't had in a while, I should say, and almost always I could recognize that I'm like, I don't feel good when I do this, and so I just stay very in tune to what's going on, and I can feel the difference. So. Pamela says it's absolutely different this time. I completely agree. Joyce says, hi, everyone. Looks like I just missed the end of the live episode, but I'm going nuts down traveling in California for 3 faculty job interviews, and it's just crazy. Want to get back on focus. Joyce, there you go. You're back on focus. I just gave you some. Poof. So... Lori says, there are things I can share about my journey here that I can't share anywhere else. Yep, I agree with that. You can always write into the show. I will leave your name. I'll leave your name out if that's what you want. Names don't matter. It's your journey that matters. And I mean, the names matter. I mean, let me rephrase that, right? What I was getting at is we just need to know what's possible. So that's what I was getting at there. Carissa says, good night. Good night, Carissa. Very fun. Yeah, Jeff sums it up perfectly. Remember why you walked in the door. Yeah. So the only thing quitting does is gives you a new start date, right? Yep. Instagram, Dina. Is it Dina or Dinah? Says, thank you. The podcast was exactly what I needed tonight. Very, very, very good. Debbie says, good night, everyone. Need to do the 5 a.m. club before education conference tomorrow. I was at an education conference all weekend. Dina, very cool. I was right the first time. Sometimes I overthink it. I was at an ed tech Google summit all weekend. It was actually kind of cool. I learned a lot of things that we're going to implement into Operation Fat Dag, believe it or not. I was there for work. But because I was there, I was able to listen in to some of the cool stuff. Educators are cool. I like educators. Sarah says, my attendance goal is to listen to the podcast every day. Your support is like the rocket booster to get me through the week and stay focused. Thank you. Very cool. Light them up. Kristen says, I started drinking water again. That's all I've been drinking today. I'm going to try and just drink water and nothing else. Hope I can do it. So, Kristen, hope and try don't belong in that sentence. It's just a matter of doing it. Yoda will say it right. Do, or, what is it? Do or, I don't know, do or do not. There is no try, or something like do or do not. Whatever, however Yoda says it. But in essence, what it is whatever you tell yourself, your body works very hard to prove it true. If you start the sentence with, I hope I can do it, and I'm going to try and do it, you're actually giving yourself permission to not do it when you say that. And so, what I want you to do is, I want you to be committed to making the change. And you say, you know what, I will do this tomorrow. It's that tomorrow I'm doing this. And if you say you hope you can, you say you're going to try and do it, the second you have an opportunity not to do it is when you go, well, you know what, it's okay. And so what I want you to do is I want you to completely change your life. I want you to make a goal to say, I will do this. And if you believe it, you'll do it. Angie says, walking around in your bar, getting your steps in for the day, only about 1,300 to get 10,000. Very nice. You can do that. You can do it. Yeah, and Kara said, old habits were not satisfying or fun. No, they're bad habits. It's crazy. Let's see. Lee had 15 minutes to kill waiting for your transit bus, and you did stairways up and down to get your daily stairways goal. Very nice. That's how you do it. Every opportunity. Amy says, yeah, we continually learn through this. Yep, you listen a lot, but don't ask. And that's fine. So by all means, shoot an email. If that's, if there's things you want to put out there, shoot an email. Be very clear in that, hey, don't use my name, and I'll gladly either not use your name or use someone else's name. So J.M. Smith on Instagram says, I am only drinking water tomorrow. Said it. Now I'm committing to it. Boom, set in stone. Done. Check in tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. I already know the answer because you committed to doing it. You can do this. Amy says, I tell myself in the mirror each morning that it's the privilege to get to eat good and healthy food and treat my body the way I deserve. It feels good to be great. Or it feels great to feel great. Exactly. Justine says, thanks for the show. I've been trying to get back on track this week. Today has been the best day in a few weeks. So it's just a matter of repeating it, right? And so, in the days that aren't your best day, you just keep going. There's no quitting. You just do your best every single morning. Yeah, Lisa, if you're, Lisa makes a great point. Lisa says, if you're lucky enough to attend the meetings, every meeting talk. And so I've heard that a couple times. People say, oh, my meeting, we don't talk about this. I'm like, well, that's your opportunity to bring it up. So Kristen says, it's what I needed because you weren't feeling very good earlier today and you stayed down at your grandma's. Well, here we are. We're getting it done. Lee says, don't overthink it. Yep. Jeannie says, I did the right thing today. When you have less time, you have to exercise more intensely for a short time. That's it. There was a time when I could go run 7-8 miles because I had the hour and a half. I don't have the hour and a half anymore. So, and I haven't had it for a while, to be honest. And so now it's like, no, I'm going to go out and bust out a mile up and down the course and do it quick. So, yep. Jan is asking, is there an Operation Fat Dag meeting this week? There absolutely is. Tomorrow I take this stack here. Oops. Tomorrow I take this stack of cards and letters. Making a mess. Hang on, sit down. Anyway, tomorrow I take that stack of cards and letters. I deliver them to military members who are in the middle of their fitness battle for their careers. I deliver your message of hope and inspiration. I tell them they can do this. I tell them I believe in them. I hand them those cards and letters and tell them that you believe in them as well. There's 2 more coming up, so if you haven't yet, operationfatdag.org, go to the website, send in a card or letter because I'm going to use all those tomorrow and then we're out. So we'll need something coming up soon. So get them in the mail quickly. Instagram, we're going to lose you in 35 seconds. So I'm not going to reboot. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up. But I want you to know on Instagram, thank you for being here. I'll let you just time out, but I wish you good focus. You can join us on Facebook and on YouTube if you want to catch the last 5 minutes or so. Joyce says educators like me too. Very, very cool. There it is. Liga, do or do not. Do or do not. There is no try. And Justine says, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Very fun. Let's get that. Let's see. Very cool. Lori says, you can always use my name. Delia? Is that how you pronounce it? First time listening live, so very motivated by all of y'all. We do the bell, right? Woohoo! Very fun. I did, Darlene. Got it. Got it. Yeah, and Kara said, there is no quitting. I mean, really, there's nothing to quit. You know, even if you ate 14,000 points today, you just wake up the next morning and eat 23 or 35, whatever your number is. Do it. Linda says, I commit to drinking my coffee black instead of with cream. I got it. I like it. Is there Fat Dag swag? There is Fat Dag swag. So fatdag.com currently is a t-shirt. I have a t-shirt for the tour, for the 2018 International Tour. This end of this month, I'll be in Biloxi. Going to run a 5K with you in Biloxi. The whole tour dates are on the back. So every once in a while, I find something that you guys might like, and I put it out there. It helps cover the travel, so for sure. Brandy says, do I check emails often? Define often. Every day I log in, and I read them often, and then so I compile them and respond later. So I think I kind of read them just about every other day at the worst. So Jamie says, my cream is my very first track of the day. Everything else revolves around my cup of coffee. I got it. Veronica, do you want the operation cards with no envelope? No, however you want to get them to me. What I do is tomorrow I will open all those one by one, read through them, bring in the inspiration, and push it back out. So I don't share the envelope with them. I share just the card with them. So if you want your contact information included, you've got to actually write it in the card. That's how I know that you want it to be shared. It's Delia. Got it. Thank you. Justine said, what exactly is the tour? So the tour is, there are 8. Biloxi, Tulsa, Denver, Philadelphia, Toronto, not in order. Toronto, Washington, D.C., Indianapolis, and then San Francisco. Going to run a already scheduled race in each of those areas. So all I'm doing is showing up. I'm gonna register for those races independently. If you'd like to hang out, you can run with me by registering for the race that I registered for, or you can just hang out before and after, whatever. But I'm going to visit each of those cities just simply to check in with you guys and say, hey, that's it. It's not a Weight Watcher thing per se. It's at all, actually, not even per se. It has nothing to do with Weight Watchers. It's me coming out to see you guys. I was able to, some of them I was able to incorporate with some trips I already had scheduled. So I did. So I'll be in Denver on, looks like the 21st, I think, of June, it's a guess. Amy says, 14,000 points. I think I could do that. Very fun. Brenda says, I get Coke 0 as of March 1st after listening to your post. Thanks, you're welcome. It's doable. I went from what I think is like 12 to 15 sodas a day or something crazy like that to 0 overnight. So it's just absolutely doable. Linda, 11,391 steps today. That's awesome. Awesome work. Linda, so tomorrow is the next one, and then after that, I don't have the date in front of me, but it's the next, let's see, it's right here actually. April 24th is the next one after today. So you have until April 24th to mail in new cards for the next event. So I'll use that stack tomorrow, and then April 24th I'll need probably 30 to 40 or so minimum for April 24th. So go ahead and get them mailed in. I'd appreciate it. And like I said, all I do is just turn around and push your words back out to them and encouragement. So very, very cool. Maria, 33,000 steps today. Whew, 62 and proud. You ought to be. That's incredible work. Absolutely incredible. All right. Let's go ahead and rock this thing over. YouTube, thank you for being here. Always an honor. We'll just continue out there getting it done. So I wish you the best of focus. And remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points, right? It's that doable. YouTube, thank you and good night.